The more I ride the Zforce 800 50-inch Trail Edition, the more I love this machine. There's a lot of things I love about this side-by-side. One, it fits in the trailer pretty easy. On top of that, it can actually fit on the back of your pickup truck if you have the appropriate bed length.
Alright guys, well, we're out here in Penrose Commons. There's a few places I wanted to test out this side-by-side, see how sketchy it is. On the quad, I feel more confident on the tippier side of rocks versus the side-by-side. Keep in mind, this side-by-side is a very long body.
Now the biggest issue with the Zforce 800 50-inch Trail Edition is just that. It's a 50-inch Trail Edition, so it does not have the full flex or stability of the full-size side-by-sides.
Alright, we're going to be going to our very first one. We got a four-wheel drive lock. This is going to be, supposedly it's a green trail, but it's definitely not a green trail.
Now here we are entering a 50-inch trail system. Now this is labeled green, but believe me when I say it is not a green. This is not an easy trail, so whoever labeled this trail definitely misunderstood it. Now I've done this trail hundreds of times on my quad. Believe me, the camera really flattens this area out. This part is pretty sketchy, and the rocks are a lot bigger than it looks on camera.
Alright, this is our first one right here, which is pretty sketch. Oh, see? Alright, let's see how this thing does. Woo. Alright. Wow. Actually did pretty good, so we're gonna go back and take a look at that. So being this wide, you know, an ATV, I can just come around here. But check out like these boulders, you know, that one was the one I was mostly scared of right here. So I might go around. I'm gonna probably try it again. The ATV, you know, squeezes right there, but it'll crawl right up this stuff. And on that one, when I was coming down, I had to hit that rock right here just because it's, you know, kind of wide, and turn this. And that one's about 3 feet right there. This one's probably about, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet. But it's also steep off camber. Thing took it, no problem. I like it. So this is actually a 50-inch trail, and this thing does good, no problem. I mean, I don't recommend taking a side-by-side, a 50-inch side-by-side on 50-inch trails unless you have a good amount of experience, because it's a lot more sketchier than an ATV. And a full-size ATV, full-size side-by-side flexes a lot more for you. Like, you feel a lot less off camber. This feels a lot more tippy. It requires a lot more, you know, awareness. Ooh, and I'm hitting the rocks, as you can hear them.
When it comes to really tight spots and off camber areas, by far I much prefer an ATV. I feel a lot more confident, mostly because I can stand up and adjust the balance point, while the side-by-side on a 50-inch, it technically does the work for you, and you can't really stand up and manipulate the balance point. I would say 50-inch trails are a little bit trickier on the 50-inch side-by-sides versus an ATV.
Alright, now we're coming up to the one that I couldn't do. I had a Honda Recon 250, and I couldn't do this one on two-wheel drive even with momentum, so I'm gonna leave this one on high. This one's it's definitely pretty technical, but the good part is uphill, so I could always, you know, reverse going back downhill. I am curious to feel. Work. See, so it could crawl this no problem. Yeah, this won't be a problem.
So on this day, I decided to take out the 50-inch Zforce 800 and try it out on 2 obstacles. Now I've done it with the ATV quite a few times, and it does it with ease, no problem. I've always been a little bit skittish to do it on the side-by-side. Now on video, this looks incredibly flat, and believe me when I say, it's a lot steeper and the rocks are a lot bigger than it looks on camera.
Of course, on low. On high, alright, this is the one that I couldn't do. So let's see. I am curious to see what kind of flex it has. Let's see. So the front definitely has some flex, because that's about 2 feet there. It's gonna hog. You can kind of see the articulation. That's pretty good. Look at that. Obviously, it's not a full size. It's not going to be a full size side-by-side flex, but hey, it did better than it's already doing better than my 2-wheel drive Honda. So definitely did this no problem. Woo! Alright, what we're gonna do is going back downhill now. So let's see how this feels downhill. Uphill, I always like, well, we can put on high. Help, gives it a little bit more of a, you know, woo!
Well, there you guys have it. Zforce 800 50-inch Trail Edition. Right here in Penrose Commons. It definitely tackled it, no problem. But keep in mind, the Zforce 800 50-inch does have a little bit of a lower ground clearance. So clearing some of these rocks took a little bit more momentum, even with the locks on. Of course, a full-size side-by-side would easily crawl up all these obstacles, no problem. But the 50-inch trail model definitely tackled this rock climb, no problem whatsoever.
Not gonna lie, it is pretty intimidating, you know. Going downhill is a little bit more intimidating, I would say. Definitely, without a doubt. So let's get out right here and see what it looks like. Well, right now it doesn't look like much. It's doing some pretty good flexing, but you have that big rock in the back. It's still maintaining levelness right there. That's a pretty big rock right there, you know.